Hey there, my fellow explorers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included, the Frosty Planet. Episode 15, Surface Breach. So the current priority is build liquid water storage and de-stress. I'm going to add that as a priority because the stress just keeps climbing. So now, when we walk on the, let's try to force them to do it. Why isn't Tickle Toesies, triggering? Oh, that's weird. No, it's not so much a doom spiral. It's just a temporary problem that I'll be able to remedy. The other thing is the sopping wet. I can turn on the wood heater, in order to counteract that one as well. So the massage tables can reduce the stress, and then this can counteract the sopping wet, and then hopefully the carpeted tile will help the Tickle Toesies. Adding Tickle Toesies and reducing stress that way. Oh, we do have a suit in the base. So how do they loop back? Yeah, how did they loop back and skip the dock? Of that I do not know. So for this to be a proper massage clinic, we need some sort of decor item. The vent hole? Oh, yeah, they got through the vent hole, that's right. I keep punching holes for the pressure problems, and then not fixing them up. Alright, could you turn this wood heater on already? Alright, so this should do work wonders. Is there, Is there, like, a minimum requirement for Tickle Toesies for carpeted tiles? Like a size requirement? Because it doesn't seem like these are triggering. I'll keep an eye on that. Oh, here we go. So we're running into power issues, but this should help. So this is a massage clinic now, because of the decor item. And they are de-stressing. And once they lose their sopping wet, it will go even faster. Alright, cool. The suit made it back to where it's supposed to be. I was looking for it, but some duplicate did it automatically. And the air gap is just about done. So the next step is to sweep everything that is going to be inside of the air gap, which is this stuff. This stuff I can leave because I don't really need to liberate that area just yet. But this stuff needs to get swept because otherwise it will be stuck in an airlock, which will be really hard to gain access to afterwards. Alright, stress is now down about 20 points. I kind of wish they would check into the wood heater more frequently to get rid of their sopping wet. So it begins the great sweeping? Yes. Yes, indeed. And I might also be able to cap that off now, so that this is the inside of the base living space, expanding the barracks out to potentially add more duplicates. Speaking of which, I don't like any of them, but hypothetically, we could have. Is the water source finalized? I don't know what you mean. So if we have fresh water here, we are going to want to cycle it, right? So let's consider, because out of here comes polluted water, and I might want to actually create a storage bin for this, or like so that we can start collecting polluted water, so that we can work towards pumping and treating it. And yeah, it's also worth mentioning, I work on voted priorities, so if it's not a voted priority, if I'm not working on it, there's always another project to do, but that is what I'm doing, and if it doesn't pertain to that, it's tabled indefinitely until it becomes voted on. It's just the way things work. So that you guys can influence the, sort of the direction of things, but that I can also get things done. Because if I don't have a voted priority, I'm just going to be constantly distracted doing other things. And I don't want to do that. Alright. So we're changing it around so that I have a little bit more space for bedding. And then what we'll do is I'll create just a regular door in this spot, so that we have access to this new area. It's not a lot of space that we're going to be containing this this liquid water, but it should be enough. It might even be worth designing it in such a way that it becomes overpressurized, so that it can't just erupt indefinitely, creating more water than we know what to do with. So is this too big now? Yes. Oh, well, it's not finished. Alright, stress is now down to 40%. The brakes start at 50%, so I can keep the massage tables in, and if stress ever climbs up again, we now have a way to deal with particularly high stress. So schedules. This one is going to be deleted. Everyone's back to a normal schedule. So this is a polluted... here, I'll just show you. It's easier to show you. So this is a cool slush geyser that's under here. And the cool slush geysers emit a sustainable low volume of, really, it's not even going to tell me? God, the in-game wiki sometimes is just such a failure. How was this DLC for Ani? Pretty good. Better than the last one, in my opinion. So cool slush geysers, I believe, output polluted slush, or polluted water. Let me check the wiki. So yes, it is polluted water at -10 Celsius, which is actually considerably oh boy. It's considerably warmer than the ambient around here. Did you make a mess in your suit? Oh, that's gonna be gross. It's getting plunged now by Sean. Still pretty pressurized. I think because of the high pressure, I'm going to consider skipping a dock for now and just try to get a vent up to space, because that's a super cheap way to deal with the high pressure that we have. We have too much oxygen. Far too much oxygen. You're not stuck. There you go. It's a little slush container. It's a lot of sweeping. It looks like stress is still going down naturally, which is good to know. Yeah, I don't think we're that far from like the edge of space where I might be able to find some vacuum to space where I can just outgas all this stuff. Pretty close. Have I ever accidentally exposed a geyser event? No, because of the neutronium. It's very easy to spot geysers and vents without doing that. I mean, sometimes you can dig a little bit too close and have, like, the volcano erupt and, like, destroy it. But that's generally not... I don't think I've ever done that. At least not to my knowledge. So I'm putting a liquid pump here. One of the other issues with the slush here is it's so the slush comes out a polluted sub-zero temperature, and I think the act of the simple act of sieving it is going to cause it to freeze and break pipes. So that's another issue that we might want to consider, is that the slush itself will probably need to be heated, and ideally heated by heat generated for other purposes, not heat to generate heat for the sake of heat, if that makes sense. Because I wouldn't want to generate I wouldn't necessarily want to generate a whole bunch of heat just to melt it, because that's pretty destructive in the long run. That's a really thin band of abyssalite. I think I'm gonna breach. What I'm trying to do here is dig in such a way that it's less destructive to the ambient temperature. Even if it is a longer path. Yeah, like cooling a smelter, exactly. Where we're gonna want refined metals, and the heat from the smelter is gonna produce is gonna need to be cleaned up. Yeah, it's still popped eardrums, but the stress is not as ridiculous as it once was. I think hugely thanks to the wood heater removing the sopping wet penalties. Or the soggy feet, I should say. I don't understand why the carpeted tile isn't, Huh. Is Tickle Toesies not a thing anymore? It doesn't seem to be. I don't seem to be getting the benefits off of it. I'm deep diving into the wiki right now. Oh, there's our mess. The other thing is floral scent. Okay. Idylla flower does not produce floral scent. It's only while they're actively on it? Oh, okay. I don't see that there's a benefit there either. Like, even with Nabla standing on it, there wasn't a net stress change. Yeah, I never at all... I think they removed it. Or it's just not triggering in the way I would expect it to. All right, haven't found vacuum yet, but we're heading the right direction for it, which is up. So I think what I'm going to do here is start to run the vent pipe. And this... Let's see. We'll go upwards. So I'll just delete this bridge for now. Right, bud? So this will solve the carbon dioxide issues here, but then we're going to need, like, another pump elsewhere. Although it's less pressurized now than it was before, and I think that's in part because we're excavating a tunnel upwards, and the excess oxygen is, like, flowing upwards as a result. Yeah, the water lock broke. I know. I saw. I don't think anyone has popped eardrums anymore. Interesting about the change of the floor tiles. The carpeted tiles. So I'm just going to abandon that tactic. Doesn't seem to be much of a benefit. It's really too bad that this one, Amari, has so many negative traits. Especially the Luddite. Otherwise, I would have considered it. But yeah, no more popped eardrums. Stress is dropping quickly, but I still want a path up to space so I can vent excess gas. So it's not a problem that we'll have to face continually. So I'm going to go ahead and get that vent up to vacuum going. And in order to not disrupt any of the biomes up here that rely on stable temperatures, I'm digging through the abyssite layer, which takes longer, but it will leave the surrounding biomes stable. Temperature stable. Oh, Phlox. Yes. Hello. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a whole bunch of eggs. Cool. Am I going to put an O2 filter in the outcast pipe? No. I want to get rid of oxygen just as much as I want to get rid of carbon dioxide. Even getting rid of all the carbon dioxide, it would still be overpressured, so I'm not going to be choosy about what I filter. It all needs to be filtered. Don't forget to remove the light stones from sweeping. Good call. So there's the gas pipe. And I think at this point we should be pretty, I mean, if you take a look at the map, actually we might be able, have to go a little bit higher. They look pretty weird when they're shaved? Yes, they do. Yeah, the pressure is a lot more reasonable now. Popped eardrums are a bit of a thing of the past. And this should be a pretty useful solution to prevent it. Oh, hello. Yep. This is space. A Murphy bed. So at this height, I might go this way out to space? I don't know. Once I get up here, I'll see where the best path up is around the facility. Our wood count is still dropping, so it's very good that we got the second ranch going. That should help out a lot. What's funny about a Murphy bed? Oh, it's just a funny little feature to have. Especially in this area, because it doesn't seem like it would need to fold back up into the wall. Oh, what is this? This is some sort of geyser. It is a hot, polluted oxygen vent. It's funny, looking at the priorities, you can tell where the trees are, the nectar trees, because they have this funny priority mapping. Gives us, like, insight into the biomes. It's like, well, there's the nectar trees. So if you're looking for seals, they'd be around there. Can I split the barracks into two? I mean, I could. Right now, it's oversized a bit. So they're not getting the barracks bonus. But if I just plopped another door there, I could put 3 beds back here. It would still be barracks. Morale, I don't think is the issue at the moment. No, everyone's high morale. Considerably high morale, in fact. At this point, everybody has exosuit wearing, so Skeletors should be a lot faster in the exosuit, which is good. And this is just a showroom. Got it. Fascinating. I had not expected him to score quite so highly, but he is uncommonly charismatic. So this is from the Director Stern, the Gravitas facility. It's very pretty in there. But I don't know if the other side is space or not. But I think what I'll do is I'll dig up to this here and then construct a ladder up so that we can gain access to this facility and bypass it. I don't want to go through it. So it's granite tiles, sandstone tiles, posters, couch. Light fixtures. Cool. I figured we were going to hit something on our way up. Doesn't surprise me that we ran into a big facility. They're usually like above the pod location, more or less. $16 critters in this ranch. There's so many eggs incubating. And I would say the pool of carbon dioxide here is obviously ever increasing, but the pool down here shrunk. So we just need to move the carbon dioxide, but we're going to be moving this carbon dioxide up to space instead. Whenever it's too full. So right now there's no outlet for it, so it's just, you know, I can't move it anywhere, but we're working on that. And stress seems to be okay. Scorpio's now the highest, so let's go see. Yeah, I mean, it's holding pretty steady. I'm not too worried about it. And now for the great sweeping. It is a lot of work. Trying to get all that out of there a lot. There we go. This is vacuum. This here is space. All right. Well, with that known, I'll create a airlock here. Or a water lock, liquid lock, I should say. And then we'll be able to freely vent things out. In fact, I'm going to change the way I'm designing this a little bit. I'm going to up tunnel here, destroy one of these wood tiles and use the vacuum under there, because having our vent protected by this facility is going to stop meteorite strikes from destroying it. From destroying our vents and the like. And then also I can use this ethanol. How do I want to do... Maybe what I'll do is I'll use the ethanol... I'm trying to think of a way to, like, use the ethanol that's in place to create a impromptu liquid lock. Like, putting it there, and that's already deep enough that, that we can, yeah. So I'll do it like that. So we'll dig out here. Over, up, and then back through. Hopefully, I can construct more tiles to prevent this from the ethanol from escaping. Create a little liquid lock here, and then create the vent output there. It's very weird to be suitless going all the way out to essentially the vacuum of space, but I think the high pressure called for it. It's funny to be working on the high pressure problem, even though the pressure right now is actually not the pressing issue. It kind of went away. Uh-oh. All toilets out of order. That's not good. I'm gonna have them fix that before they start peeing all over the place. Skeletor's like, hey, I need to go. they're going to have a bit of a stressful day as a result of the emergency. It's one of the advantages of the washroom over the latrines is the latrines need to be manually dug out, whereas the washrooms don't. I'll take brine, sure. Yeah, made a mess anyway. I tried. I really tried. Tried to get him not to do that. Plunged in the middle of the night, and yet still, he made an accident. Wow. The amount of oxalate in the second bin is now 6 tons. So I have almost 27 tons of oxalate. That's quite a bit. All right, research focus. Let's just start filling in the stuff that I have gaps in. So fossil fuels next. Not that I necessarily want to use fossil fuels, it's just, you know, trying to fill out the research tree. Wow, you've been eating well. Are you sure you're not a pig? Oh, there's another geyser here. It's a hydrogen vent. Cool. Very useful to have access to a hydrogen vent, for sure. I actually haven't looked around much. So this is a hot oxygen vent. Probably polluted oxygen, I imagine. Usually the vents don't have pure forms. There's some sort of facility here. Oh, here's something new. I hadn't seen this before. This is a water geyser. I wonder what temperature water geysers come out as. Let me check. That might be hot water. I'm not sure. So water geysers create 95-degree Celsius water. So almost boiling water. Good to know. I'll probably not be tapping that, as that would create a bit of a problem. And then this was the hydrogen. Cool. Hydrogen's always a very nice find. It's pretty out there. It's crazy that there are bonbon trees just like floating around in space. Right, I'm gonna dig a little pit in case of leakage. In case some of this spills out. I'm gonna pull it back in. In fact... It might make sense to burrow down from here. Because this is vacuum. And then to use this door as the airlock. Essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prevent the oxygen in our base from escaping out to space accidentally. So going through here, closing the door behind me, and then destroying these tiles so it's vacuumed out, and then running our ventilation through that door, I think makes sense. Bonbons don't need atmosphere? Oh, well, let's take a look. I don't believe they do. Yeah, vacuum's an appropriate atmosphere. They don't need atmosphere. And then, if they're farmed, they need snow, and they produce nectar. So snow to nectar, and then in the act of growing, wood. And then the seals will eat the nectar off to produce ethanol. Or tallow if you kill them. Well, sorry about the lack of actually setting up the water infrastructure. I just figured that the it was a little bit more pressing that we had to deal with the overpressure. But now it's like completely not overpressure. So it's a problem that got resolved on its own. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to put the gas bridge back to the way it was and continue building this this vent pipe in case the rest of the base becomes overpressured. Because it's always nice to have an escape valve if and when you need it, even though right now we don't need it. There's still merit in this project, because I think it's only a matter of time until it becomes an issue again. The other thing is this snow is going to collapse on me once we open this up, so I'm going to put a metal tile here once it does, just to try to protect the, and we'll put drywall here, to try to keep the, actually, metal tile is probably not even tough enough to receive too many strikes. I'll just put regular tile, keep it cheap. And hope that meteorite strikes don't hit right there. It is a weak spot. So I put drywall there to prevent the loss of gas. Oh, wow. Even windowed. Man, they were living large here. Damn. Slightly jelly. So then when this looks is we'll dump it there. New log entry. Surface breach. My duplicates have done the impossible and excavated their way to the surface. Cool. And we also researched fossil fuels in the meantime. Just looking at some of the new options that I've not seen before. Well, we are on the surface. I don't think I'm going to immediately make use of solar, but it's useful to know that there's even windows here. I'm surprised... Oh, well, they're made of dime. I'm surprised this facility isn't more destroyed. Funny to have all that success music. It's like we didn't do anything. We just like dug a little. But whatever. Accolades. Bring them on. So once this is done, I'll go back to the water. Looks like stress has mostly been handled. The great sweep still continues. I think what I'll do, instead of sweeping up now, is actually just deconstruct this so that I don't have to sweep. I'm going to pick the lazy route. I think it will save me time. Wouldn't having access to vacuum make it easier to pump out the airlock space? Potentially, only if it's pressurized in this area. But yes, I could indeed stop venting here and vent it straight up into space. I think that's very reasonable to do. So that we don't have to worry about overpressurization. Because that was an issue slowing us down from before. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included, the Frosty Planet, which originally streamed live on Twitch August 8th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow duplicates.